Good morning. What's going on, lads? Make sure the stream's going well. What's going on here? There we go. Let's try that again. All right. Ooh, that's a little dark. What's going on? What's going on? We got 3 days left, eh? First 5 minutes already done. Let's have a look at what's going on here with the chart. All right. Ooh. That's quite the gap, wasn't it? That's quite the gap. Let's get this dome going for the stream. Let's get this dome going for the stream. My goodness. A little all over the place, but let's go. Let's go anyway. Not gonna mess around with this too much. Morning, Zach. Morning, Pix. Morning, Nisha. Jack. Echoes. Matt. Paul. A little bit of a wild open so far. Looks like we've got sort of this gap here that we've touched the midpoint of finally. Obviously still delivering bearish. We're starting to get, we got one, this will be certainly two. This will be the third attempt. So we could be looking at another one depending on what goes on here. Potential little freedom model actually sweeping to the other side, depending on what goes on. If we retrace back down and hold the 80s, then I think we blast up to the 520 area. That would be beautiful. That was actually really, really nice in terms of a model type trade. Right there at 932. That's sort of sweeping holding, at least here, getting it at 934. Morning, Pip. Morning. I'm probably going to wait. I think that this fractal will be very important, assuming we want to continue on, which aligns with this here. Oh yeah. The 20 point, absolutely. That candle alone. This is sort of your textbook one where you've got this huge draw, and away you go. So we'll wait and see. We're stabbing in. We've got this here that we've just tapped into. Ideally, we hold this here, and if that's the case, then away we go. What else we got today? We've got nothing until tomorrow. Huge week in terms of red folder news. Huge week of red folder news. chopping. I think that we're going to retest the 75 area. I'm just not wild about how violent this is. Right, if we sweep and we fail down here, then that's great. We got some buying that came in, but no bull bars or anything. So it's very possible that we just blast through. I am leaning bullish for sure.
Order submitted.
I'll hit that one here off of the sweep, and we'll see if that can generate anything other than stabbing back down to this area. Okay. Need to get a lift here pretty quick. Second sweep. If we go red to green, that's great. And then essentially we're looking for that to lift at least to the 90s. But I'm thinking that the draw is all the way up here at 515. So failing here to CSD then sends us up. We should make a valid low. 89s. There it is. And can we get a closure above? Really good candle. We should just lift now. We should just lift now. Go on, don't be a dick. Got to blast through 89. That's a really good stall. I think people will cover off their shorts there, even though it is bearish. Mainly because we failed to CSD, and this candle demanded a stronger response than this. We might have to sweep the bottom of it, but that high was 89.25, so we didn't actually make a valid low there, but this is what we want. And then looking for expansion. If we don't get it, then I'm flat. Again, draw is higher. I just want to make sure that we're actually trading higher. You know what? I like it. I think we're going to trade a little bit lower first. So mitigating. This might make me look a little bit silly. We'll see. But I'll re-enter if need be. Should have given it a few more seconds, of course. But yes, falling. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I exited as well. Do I work for ETF? No. No, I'm an ETF partner. I think they're a phenomenal firm, and I trade with them. This is going to be gross if this ends up... just blasting, which it probably should. You at the airport? No. No, I moved my office upstairs for the morning, so we'll see. Any sort of sideways action, I'll hop back in. Yeah, that was a flub. I should have just let this play out for itself. I thought we would get a little bit more expansion off of this rather than trading back through. Did anybody else grab this long? Still sitting short. Oh, okay. No, this is taking the hourly high, and I sold this way too quick. Beautiful scoop. My entry was less than to be desired here. We'll see what we get. This should trade back, or this should trade above that hourly high at minimum 516. Anything back down to 506, then it looks like it's probably not even going to, but we'll see. I'm probably just going to. Oh, there it is. Freedom model paying. Yeah, I don't trading against this when it's like that's a weak high right at 9 a.m. specifically. And bullish internal movement now, right? So CSD broke, trades back in, leaves. There's our 15, right? So 15's got to CSD as well. I think I'm going to hop in again here for the continuation. And we'll get a lift. We haven't taken this high yet.
Order submitted.
Oh, it's a strong thrust. This might just take us out immediately, which it might. Feels like it wants to go underneath that candle, which is going to be rough if it does. If it can't, then I think we blast and continue, which was the whole idea with this idea. Even though I'm looking at the top, this is just very violently moving down, so probably has to sweep everything out. Yep. Okay. And we'll see. All right. I don't like it failed the 15, so I'm going to pause a little bit. I thought that we'd have some continuation after that swept, but didn't get that, obviously. How's the connection, lads? Everything should be good here now. So right back down to that CSD area, bouncing, good. Really don't like how violent we are, but I think that it will probably continue. That's actually not the area I want to be in. You let this shake out for 1 sec. Be right back. All right. Let's see what we get here. Again, another stall, probably hop in. I like this idea a lot. Some violent movement and then a stall candle. This is very violently away from this, which I don't like, the 15, but we'll wait and see if we get anything. Right, that was your, well, your 5's actually flipped to the upside, which at least pulled back here. If you look at Asia and London, again, London kind of engulfed Asia. So we don't have a clear draw for London's high. It's very well could take it. We also don't have an SNDR here, so I am still thinking that the 946 high should go. I'm going to position myself in here. Oh, I only had 10-point target. Shit. Okay. Well, we'll see. Can't hop in here. I do think that this high and then that high is probably a decent target. 21s. You'll see what happens when we trade back down into here. So a couple of personality candles, which are nice, leading to some nice movement. By all accounts, I should still be in this. By all accounts. And then that would have been an adding opportunity as well. Anything back into that fractal and then trades through the high 18, you're 75 you're looking at, and then you're probably looking at 21. You got 7 minutes left, so ideally the 15-minute will close above our CSD spot, which is the hourly high at 16. And then you might get an intermediate time frame drop back in, maybe. Maybe. Woo! We on direction today, lads. Don't trade against our direction when we're on, eh? But how do we guesstimate higher? We don't know if this is going to continue and do something like this. We theorize based off of what we expect the intermediate time frame institutional movements to do. No SNDR. Usually that means that they're not accumulating and manipulating. Right? Quite often you'll get these clean manipulation legs, which then offer not only they get everybody interested in the long side, and they're selling here. And we know that because it breaks. Then it trades back into equilibrium. Then you get a violent move. That's our A+++. That's bread and butter. Right? They're accumulating. We don't get in here. Why? Because we don't flip. Right? So violent movement, trades back in. Violent movement, trades back in. We go long. Violent movement, trades back in. Personality candle, spike, trades back in. Still have not gotten our closure. There's your 5-minute time frame. We've got no imbalances really. So no major urgency leaving. There's your 15. We're actually inside of a bearish one here. Now, 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th attempt to reverse this trend. I'm not going to be looking long. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in this 500 level. Probably should have held that trade for that high. No flip, nothing. Very well could be risk on for longs to then trade lower. But I'm not interested. Inside a bullish structure. Potential 15-minute CSD. 5-minute is bullish. We're figuring out what happens with this. We've now taken the high twice. So far failed. And so whatever goes on here, I think we wait. As it stands right now, we're in between this 9 o'clock 15-minute candle. And no red folder news to push us one way or the other. So people are still on the top. People are also long at the bottom. We'll see. I'm certain. Who took this long down here? It's pretty much exactly what we're waiting for. I didn't like how oh, you don't even have that right chart. Yeah, you probably held for a lot longer than I did. I think I ended up with 7 on it or 6 or something. This didn't close above, which is annoying, because we had this trade back in, and then this actually swept and was looking lower as well. So it wasn't exactly how I wanted that to occur. Ironically, if I was taking 10 points, I'd be quite happy. Boom. This is holding the fractal. I'm not long on this. You might get a wedge pattern. You might get if your 50-minute can confirm, then at least we can look at the fractal that did that, right? Which is reality, like this 504 area here. It's all the buying that took place. Good morning, TW. What's going on, buddy? Who's feeling lucky on Thursday? There's 10 o'clock. Confirmed on the 15. Yeah, very well could. Very well could. I'm looking at... we've already completed our downside. In my opinion, London has engulfed Asia. I like the extended sessions. So these aren't necessarily ICT sessions. and I would advise you guys to kind of use these as well. So this goes from 2 to 8 rather than your standard London, which is 2 to 6. Right? But you see that it engulfed Asia's high. So it's very possible that New York does the same, right? And you end up with something like this. Or in our case, this doesn't necessarily need to go down there. Right? I just don't like how many attempts to reverse the trend there are. We're bullish until proven otherwise. Absolutely. Right? And no exchange here. This couldn't CSD. No exchange here. Up we go. Up we go. The 5 just muscling its way through. If we glance at ES really quick. Doing absolutely nothing. They're very, very polar opposite right now. ES is actually grinding lower in its bottom half. NQ is grinding higher. Like, there's 9 o'clock on ES though. Way up there. Right, so NQ is trading up here on ES's chart. That's wild. Right, so my concern is that this is too lethargic for us to get a sustained movement on. And it's leg day at the gym. Jesus. Be hobbling around later on. Right, so we can get caught up in a whole bunch of things like this. The 1 minute chart tells us a bit of lethargic price action, yes. But essentially we're trying to determine what the 15 is doing. We've now got an inversion here. We've closed above. Right, so if we're looking, we've kind of got this fractal we talked about, which is essentially like here. Right, so we very well could snap and trade into this and then rock it up. Which would liquidate probably the 15-minute candle as well, which is that one there. Possibly. Possibly. Right? So in terms of lower time frame delivery, I think we'll wait now. We've got our 10 a.m. This is your new hour. That is a massive wick. Whew! That's a massive wick. Good morning, Donna. My light for this room, I had to bring it up to our fourth bedroom upstairs. It's covering part of the chat. There we go. We're doing all 20 on Thursday. All 20 will be on Thursday. We'll get Canwell is going to give away some. We're going to have some fun. Going to ask him a whole bunch of questions. And it's going to be a blast. So like Wednesday's kind of like, we'll go over trading strategy and whatnot on Wednesday. Those of you guys that that would like a refresher, that are in the bullpen, cool. Those of you guys that want to sort of level up, there'll be a lot of gems on the Wednesday. Yes, absolutely. Right? But Thursday is going to be the fun. Thursday is going to be the big giveaway. Thursday is going to be the huge kickoff of the anniversary event. And then Friday honestly is the day, like you get accounts, right? You've got, your strategy goes from good to great. And then Friday's the insane. Friday takes you and you're just somebody else. We basically take you out and we plug in a new you. Right? It's wild. Like this day and age is actually wild. Because if you're like me, you would think that if you're a good trader, you would get good results from trading. That's not how it works anymore. If you're a good trader, or if you're good at anything, what kind of results do you get? Poor. You get poor results. If you're good, it means you're basically barely over break even and you're not able to do anything. If you're an excellent trader, you get good results. You're barely over break even. You're able to make some money from this market. That's if you're an excellent trader, right? That's if you're studying, if you're on par, if you know directional bias, if you're able to have your execution locked in. Let's go, Paul. 890 on your 50K. Woo. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is still going up. We have no reason really other than trying to catch a top for this to be short. Right? Thanks to BizRam, I actually put this indicator on mainly for you guys to have a look. Right? So as it stands right now, we have not flipped bearish once since we flipped here. So if you're shorting, try to pick a top. Well, hopefully you're able to at least take a little bit of money off of these retracement scalps. And you might have analyzed, and I think it's a correct analyzation, that even is a word, of taking like these failures to come back in. As long as you're taking them of a retracement nature, it's still risky, but we do, it works. Right? And we're still looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential double top, maybe. But the market's still roaring. Market's still roaring. We've got this equilibrium area on London. Right? If we're looking at the midpoint of this entire movement down, right? This did not trade into it. So we knew here that it was expansionary to the downside. No. Come on. Magnet. Right? So that was the midpoint from here. Still haven't traded back in. Finally at the midpoint now. So if we're going to sell off, we've got 6. Ideally, we get some sort of bearish, like if this closes underneath this candle, ideally we get like a closure down here, and then we stab into it. If we get some sort of weak price action attempt to move up, then we short the hell out of this. Took 1 micro at the 50%. Beautiful. And if you're long here, like we were, if you're long here before we were, then you don't know if this is going to be a rocket ship and essentially be the inverse of this. You're just going to have a victory march of like 7 or 8 bullish candles. Right? You don't know that. As your position evolves, now you've got a different decision to make. Because now you're looking at whereabouts the risk is. Excuse me. You prick. I knew I should have hit that by itself. Ideally, we want a closure underneath this candle. Ideally. You might get your stab back up and then go. In an ideal situation, I don't really want it to fail below this 5. Not even a wick on this. I should have just hit it at 16s. Stop above 10 points. And away we go. Instead, we got this. And as for a target, I think we've now traded into that fractal, so this is a little bit more sus. Right? When you've got that sort of, you want, like, ideally, if you get, like, a flip up here, this, like, doesn't mitigate, because then it can just continue on from its intermediate time frame, which we're expecting. Right? The lower time frame needed to pull back. You've got, everything's mitigated, right? This push up, mitigated down. This push up, like if you're looking at this, right? That traded down here. It's mitigated now. Okay, so now you've got a new expansion. Well, that was mitigated. New expansion, mitigated. New expansion. Now it's flipped. All right, this is a little bit more of a dangerous trade because we've traded underneath the 5 and we traded into that 15-minute fractal. I think if we're playing dumb, which is probably a good idea, be dumb, follow price. Right? This very well could trade underneath this 15 and probably come down to like 95 or so. And I think that's probably fair. Morning, member. Right, just took an aggressive type short. We'll see what ends up happening here. Do we just continue to grind higher, or do we actually get a pullback? If we're going to fail, this is the area it should fail from. Okay, took me out for 10. We'll see if this 2025 area becomes better. Not really wild about this this idea. And this again was, okay, if we're going to base here and then drop down to that open, I think that would have been beautiful. We might still get it from this area of interest, which is where I probably should have hit this in the first place. I think I'm going to, yeah. And this will be a tight stop. Essentially, I want this to go. If not, then my stop goes above this this short-term high. And if it lets go, then I don't want to be out just here. I'd like to be out underneath both of these. What do we got? Again, this is kind of defending here, fair enough. We're sort of chopping around here, which I'm not wild about. This is your wombo spot as well after the CSD flip. We should get a bit of a reaction from this. $10.18. Yep. Okay, I'm going to be break even now. I essentially want this low to go, and I'm looking for more than 10 points on this. Right, we're trading down into this fractal, so the danger obviously is that this could just bounce from this area that sent us up. But again, if we're in bearish structure, then essentially we want this to continue on, at least taking something underneath 500. And my ultimate target is about 495, which is the midpoint of this intermediate time frame push up. Push. If we get a closure underneath this, then I think we just drop pretty quick. I think we should at least take something, given the CSD and now the reaction from it. This is your wombo, so this is the 23.6 for the scalp idea. The old tried, tested, and true wombo combo. Didn't get our closure. We'll see what happens with this imbalance. Stop, I think, will be above this candle at 1950. Right, so we're looking at this. This has to hold or else we're in trouble. Okay, we should drop now if we're going to. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Right? I don't really want 8 points out of this. I'd want at least 20, 25, but we'll see if it's our year. Good. Really good. And lovely. Okay, so they did execute me. My dome's just having a heart attack. Oh! Why'd I exit that? Why'd I exit that? God damn it. Is it still in? Woo! Wild styles. Who'd grab that short, lads? You're pretty much done today after that. You took that off? From here? Literally, I hit close here. My target was 95. My target was here at 95, but like, I did not expect all the way back down to the initial. But man. Woo, 40 point Zach. I think Zach might have had the trade of the morning if you went from like here to 80. Man, I was back testing this weekend as well. Like, this is not like, I got taken out here and then hit it again. 6 feet from gold of having absolute insane stuff, but beautiful trade, Zach. Beautiful trade, Zach. I was out at 97. Good trade, though. Beautiful, Sam. MW looks like he got it from the Wombo. Beautiful. I'm sure Matt and Bizram took it. Certain. Cut it off too soon. Yup. I'm bullish, so I didn't take the short. Fair. Fair. Nothing wrong with that as well, right? Like, people scooped in here with the stop underneath, expecting the 15 CSD to hold, as they should. Here's your 15-minute low at 88. People bought here. Now, that's disgusting. I mean, we liked it. Zach certainly liked it, didn't he? Zach catching tops and bottoms of the biggest move of the day. Right? But in reality, you would consider this to be a high probability idea as well. So you can either take the short into it, or you can take the long out of it. Who's to know which is going to work? Maybe they both will. Hopefully. I think if we consolidate here, then we'll lift at least back up to this. Ooh. Mama. I think everybody's, well, are they caught short? I think we trade up at least into the 508s. Back up into here. Right? Our 15, that's a violent move. I think a lot of people will be short and caught short if they're holding this still. This has got to achieve something it cannot. That's an intermediate time frame second distribution. Let me rephrase that. That's a lower time frame second distribution into an intermediate time frame area of interest. Right? And if you have to look, you've got a 15-minute bullish engulfing candle at the low of day. What do you think the chances are we hit the midpoint? Right? Now we rise. This very well could trade back down to here. If it respects this SNDR, then we likely run up higher. We've now closed above this. That's not good for bears. They don't want this being touched at all, in my opinion. Now, if it flips, then fine. Maybe something goes like this. Maybe. Right? And if you're still holding true to the idea that we at least trade into this consolidation from London, I don't think we've really done that yet. Nope, we have not. Right? Like we kind of barely traded into it here and then left. I think that this area specifically is going to be an important target. This will be an important area for both. $10:30 coming up in a minute and a half. This is what your 15 looks like so far. Right? Failed to make a valid high miserably. All the way down here at 88. Here's your hourly. Right? Still inside of this. Still bearish on your hourly, in fairness. Your 5 is flipped back bearish too. So you can make arguments on both sides, which means quite a bit of range-bound type environment, which means this is your midpoint. You can make an easy justification of not taking trades inside of here. Right? I like to fade the edges back into the middle. People also did the exact same thing up here. I do think we go higher, personally. That's where I'm leaning. This area respected, at least right now. So I think we wait another 15, 20 seconds to see what goes on here, but I wouldn't be surprised if this squeezed. And everybody here that was short is now looking to ride this move. Oh, we're going to get a second one of these, and then the market just blasts their face off. Maybe. Here's 10:30. We get a 5-minute sweep. We didn't even close underneath this bearish candle. Right? A little bit of a triangle. If we break out of this, then we might retest back down. We'll see. Moment of truth. Yeah, I think bears are in a bit of trouble here. Ideally, that candle expands now. We had our bearish push, strong move. Shouldn't retrace back down to here, really. This should just expand up higher. Hoping, looking for this area at the threes to support price as we continue higher. We'll see. To the moon. To the moon, or do we get clapped? To the moon. Let's go. Struggling a little bit. Pretty good response. Pretty good response from the bears. We'll see. Giveaways today? No, we've got 20 on Thursday. You guys are going to have to be a little bit patient. I don't really like how we're stalling here. I don't like how we're stalling after this, but still leaning a little bit bullish. Just two bearish candles, okay. We got a lift now if we're going to, I think. You kind of look like Chris Hemsworth. Solo, you're my new best friend, bro. Lift. Oh, that was rough. Chop City. Didn't like that at all. And this could very well just have to come down here to like the 97s or something. Right? Yeah, this is probably going a little bit lower, hopefully not too much lower inside of this range. I'm still liking my direction based off of the intermediates, but To be determined how much lower it needs to go before it's ready, but it's telling us right here that it's not really ready yet, whether that's to trade back down to 99 and it's done, right, the open of this candle, or it actually wants to take all this liquidity and then run. We'll find out. It's telling us right now that she's not ready quite yet. We'll see if we get expansion now. 10:36, right, so 5 minute, definitely flagging. We want it to expand. We did flip bearish on the 5, which is not good for the bullish movement. I was hoping we got a little bit of more of a squeeze than what we did. Yeah. So I thought we were going to have like a bit of a grab and go and then like time to fly. Instead, we're kind of just consolidating here. I think underneath this candle now at 99, I'll take this off. I'm not really interested in much lower. I think that this either expands now or I'm flat. And only because the 5 is bearish and we're not getting any explosive movement. Right? And we're getting, this is now, if it holds, it's going to be the 5th bearish candle in a row. Like, just not giving us pretty much anything that we like. Right, so the initial trade idea, not exactly what I was expecting. And we'll see. There's the 97, so last possible area of bounce. Or does it just drop on our face? I probably should have taken it off in the 500s there. I had a couple of opportunities to do so. They're just muscling their way, and then we'll see. Okay, good sweep. Back up to 500. Good bullish candle underneath the last prior one, right? Okay. The question is, do we mitigate or not? And I think 99 is my flat stop now, finally. Is Social the trader? I'm not quite sure who Social is, bro. I don't think I've ever traded with anybody called Social. She might tab back down to 390, then go, yeah, pretty much exactly what, like, was kind of looking at this and this, like taking some liquidity, right? We're still bearish on the 5. So this very well could be just trading back up to mitigate. Oh, Socio. Mikey, yeah. He's still in the bullpen. He's kind of trading with some friends right now, which is cool. So he took a bit of a break from live streaming to focus. Okay, do we get a lift now? Or we just continue this grindy price action, which not everybody's really wild about. We're muscling through on the bullish side, which is good. Should take at least some liquidity here. I think a lot of people were shorting this with poor direction, and we should get a lift. Strong 5-minute close. I like that a lot. What I don't like is that we're fighting over 5 points. So kind of returning back down to that low volatile environment that we had last week. That 5, what'd that 5 do? right? So that high was 775. We closed there as well. I want this to lift through it or else I'm flat, I think. Go, 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 go. Okay, good. Now, systematically, we should not be even break even right now. Right, we're looking ideally for this to just continue on with this bearish, or sorry, this bullish victory march. Right, multiple bullish candles. We failed to go lower. We just want to go higher, at least above this high at 13, which is what we're positioned for. I think given the expansionary nature, I'm break even now. Okay, it just took me out. Good enough. So this was more of a directional long. I think that we still continue higher. Does everybody kind of understand the thesis of why we weren't looking short for continuation off of this? Or not particularly? If you're long, you're probably still involved, and you're quite capable to take a runner and hold it for your London highs, right? Or at least like the midpoint was already touched of this entire movement, right? The midpoint here at 26s. Right, in low volatile environments, that's when I sort of tighten up my targets. One of my major issues when I was doing my weekly review of last week was that I was looking for 20, 30, 40 points on every trade rather than taking what was offered to me based off of the setup itself. For example, if you're taking retracement shorts, right, or you're even taking longs, we don't know if this one, like this one, for example, we expected that high. Fine. Because of the stall candle, cool. But like if you're taking like a retracement or sorry, a long from here and you're looking for like 30 points, you're not taking into account what's really going on. This is very different even here because we've got our intermediate time frame movement back out and now we're basing here till now launch. Right? The 5-minute CSD spooked me a little bit for holding this for broke. The 15 has no issues at all. We swept underneath this. We then traded lower. You want to be positioned in this wick for a bullish 15-minute candle inside of a bullish 15-minute CSD. So that makes sense. You want to be positioned here for this candle to expand. And we were. Right? If we're looking at that, we're essentially looking at this. So that makes sense. Right? And then ideally, I mean, my trade was what, like 503, so like in here. The better trade would have been underneath 500, but I mean, we're haggling over a few points. And this is the danger of sort of your 5-minute CSD is bearish. We're expecting the 15 to be bullish. Our 1 minute is bearish. Your hourly is bearish. Right? You've kind of got a bit of a juxtaposition where you've got energy on both sides moving the market, which does what? Keeps you in this nonsense. Yeah, the interesting thing is now you've got internal structure where you've got valid low, valid high, another valid low, protected internally. You've got, well, actually it's here. Now you've got this, right? You're expecting this area to hold, to move from an internal standpoint. You don't have an SDR here. So if we're going to go up, I don't think we sweep and then run, because that would break this internal movement, and then you're essentially looking for something like this. So what that means is that this low should hold. It's also your delivery spot as well. Oh, volatile. What are we going to do? This is the last time I'm probably going to ask on stream as well. What questions do you guys have for ETF? You look like Chris Hemsworth. Bro just made my day. When are they going to add TradeAvate or something that can be used with NinjaTrader for their live accounts? Oh, okay. You don't like EdgeClear? EdgeClear's a decent platform. I had no issues with it when I was using it. Speak and he shall appear. Speak and he shall appear. This is quite similar to what we back tested yesterday, isn't it? Let me double check. Yeah, data fee is just Rhythmic compatible flat platforms is what I got. Right? So I don't think there's any issue trading with NinjaTrader with their live accounts. Yeah, the Freedom model paid quite nicely, actually. For those of you guys that were interested in it. Boom. Beautiful. Beautiful NQ. Like, if you guys haven't checked out NQ stats to look at session probabilities, I think that you're missing out on a lot of very, very good quantitative data. Very, very good quantitative data. Right? Where you're looking at, like this, there's a reason I have this box here. Well, yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, and that you should probably start with this when you're talking about it. Is it worth it to move to a live account with any prop firm? If you believe the answer is no, you're going to have a very, very different framing on pretty much everything else, including data, connections, with whatever. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, TPT, I think you need what, 5K? 5K gets you to Pro Plus, then you get 90-10. Right? Times 5 accounts. Take profits also CQG. So that wouldn't affect anything to do with Rhythmic connections for an ETF live account. or any other prop firm live account for that matter. That's on Rhythmic. There's your 90. Lion Scalper waiting patiently for it. Again, we're still looking at this low. I don't care what this does. That's potentially an SNDR, but if it fails, now all of a sudden you've got a manipulation. If that trades back in, you're looking at potentially running up higher. Well, now we're talking about something different, right? And they do go to 90% once you achieve a certain amount of profit as well. But yes, absolutely. You can have multiple Rhythmic with Replicanto and Ninja Trader 8, but it gets cumbersome because you have to use VPs. That's true. That's true. That just broke internal structure. When I was trading with multiple firms, it was quite annoying. Now, this, by the way, still very well could be manipulation. Your 15-minute low is here at 88.50. I think for any sort of sustained bearish movement, this has got to let go. You've actually got a little imbalance there on the 15-minute as well. Right? So a little bit unclear direction. We did CSD on the 15, which I love a lot. It's not really supported by the hourly, at least so far. Right? We don't really have any displacement on the 5 either to note. So I think the idea would be expecting a response from this. Right? If you get a good response from this, that should trade back up into here and mitigate that at least. If the trade back down holds this low, then I think we rock it. Otherwise, essentially, you're leaning either that this displaces underneath that 15-minute fair value gap, or depending on what goes on with this low, which is in 6 minutes. If we don't sort of hold here, like that low and the gap, then that's obviously still short. Or if we respect this area, we're still short. Right? But I'm hands off. Interesting. Interesting. I think I'd probably still just go with CQG. I don't really get a lot of the Tradeify hype. I think interestingly enough, I think like I was looking at my funded futures over the weekend, and they've done quite a bit on their end, which is nice. The instant payouts is a pretty cool feature. God, I don't remember. Back in the day, he might have been. Was it MFF? I don't know if it was MFF or something else. Longs out of this look like they're paying quite nicely. We'll see. Yeah, I think there was something else. There's been a lot of scammy ones that have come out, so the industry is going to be quite interesting. I think Bullinox and Top Step kind of threw their hats into each other with all that sort of nonsense that was going on. It's like you see new ones pop up every day, and you're like, why would I trade with you guys? Like, what exactly is the purpose? You want me to pay more money for a firm that's less reputable, and your payout windows suck. So why exactly would I trade with you guys? Oh, I'm just talking about like when they were sharing data because they don't want to have people hedging firms. Three minutes until the turn of the hour. And a new 15-minute candle. That didn't trade up nearly enough to what we were expecting. Yeah, Apex, like, their business model was kind of brilliant, if we're being entirely honest. Right? Everywhere else was they all wanted their fees up front. And Apex went in. This was before Top Step's accounts were $49 a piece. And Apex went in and lowered the barrier to entry by like 3/4 of what it was. So who are you going to go with? You pay, $30 for a 50K? Or are you going to pay $100 for a 50K? Oh, and by the way, we're going to give you 20 accounts, and now all of a sudden you're appealing to people's what? Greed. Hey, V, what's up, man? I do think this trades back up to the 500s. My concern is a 15-minute sweep, but this is quite beautiful price action off of this 15-minute fair value gap. Right? So we're getting kind of the right? So the bearish idea would have only been if we snap through this or if we respect this area. Right? So getting our expansion, that 15-minute fair value gap, holding. Major area of interest now here. Right? This did not trade back up. So we're looking at minimum, you got this, right? Which coincidentally sits just over 500. So you want the midpoint of this swing to be disrespected and this to flip. And if both of those get met, oh baby, I will not be touching short. Will not be touching short. Right? Our long thesis was 15-minute fair value gap and that 15-minute low holding. You got an internal movement here. But you got 7 seconds before the turn of the hour. So that's a 15-minute low as well. We very well could sweep this out. And then run. Who knows? But if you're looking at internal movement, you would expect this area to hold. So even if it runs out liquidity, you would expect a closure back up in here. And then you're at least looking back up to the 500s. At least. So here's your new hourly. I actually think I should have taken this long underneath 91.5. Not really late to the party, but sitting quite green this morning, so not exactly interested in fighting anything. Want to make sure it's very, very clean. I think that along here at 88 would have been beautiful as it sort of respected the gap and then traded back into it and was holding this low. We'll see what we get. We all sitting green this morning or what? How we doing, lads? And ladies, if you're still around. Good. 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 One trade. Good lad. Here it comes. Decent morning for a Monday. Hey, Lane, what's going on, buddy? Good second sweep of that there. I'm gonna take a stab with a small stop if it tags me in. Just right about here, and then stop goes underneath 86. Oh! That was a dump. See if that was a liquidity run. If it was, we're going to blast through this, which is good. Same stop now, 86. Trade idea a little bit different, but same thesis. What I don't like is that we flipped. So I want this to expand, otherwise I'm probably just going to take this off very, very quickly. What I don't like is that this closed underneath this now. We're still holding the fair value gap, which I do like. But if we don't expand now, then I think we're in trouble. Okay, want closures above here and lift. I'm break even now at 89. I don't want it coming back down to here. We've got to expand. And I'm just going to take that off. Not playing around with it. I do think we go up a little bit. Concern is that we touched this 82 level. This was a little bit more violent than I liked, and I wanted to see at least some sort of a closure up here. Definitely not bearish. Well, not definitely not bearish. I think we are bearish, right? I just like how it's holding this, and I'm not really happy about how it's failing that 15-minute low from the bearish side. So I think people that are aggressively shorting down here, you're playing with fire, because you're essentially shorting a 15-minute low, hoping that it drops, which is the whole idea of our long. Right now, this actually ended up trading all the way back down to 87, and now it's lifting, which is making me look foolish for not sitting in this long still. But I do think that that we will trade above this 98, and then here, and then ideally If this gets disrespected, then you might get some sort of a liquidity grab from here and go. Right? So very, very happy with my direction. Happy with the patience on the execution. I think that had I been long in here, well, even that, I think. Right? Even that. Yeah, this close kind of threw me. And if I'm looking at this right now, I'm not wild about it. I love the location, just I don't know if I would have taken that there. I think that yeah, no, I wouldn't have. I would have wanted something to close above in here and then trade back in. You probably have something like this now, but not that interested. Not that interested. Yep. Yep. And that's me being very, very picky. It's not that long here had any sort of fear at all. I'm just more along the lines of like, if this swept underneath here and then this continued to sweep underneath here, now I can hold. And I'm not too concerned about that because the bearish move has to fail underneath here, and it didn't. So that shook me out, even though the long idea was quite strong. And that's all right. That's all right. The last thing I'll leave you guys with is nobody in this market goes on 100-day winning streaks. At least not that we know of. There's probably some people out there that do. They probably trade with a hell of a lot more money than we've got. But our ability to really stay consistent and do well in the market is a function of both resilience and our ability to bounce back from challenging days, which will come. Which will come. Right? And the way to do that in every sport, pretty much, is you get back to doing your basic stuff. You focus on where the market's going, the direction that it's in, and you take your base hits. Not trying to swing for the fences, right? But take your base hits. Get back to your basics. What's our 15-minute doing? Is our 15-minute bullish or bearish? It's bullish. It's been bullish since we closed above here. We've still failed this 15-minute low. Right? Now, those of you guys that are part of the stream last week, there were a couple instances where I would be shorting something like this. Too focused on the 1 minute time frame. Too eager in everything that's going on. That's not a good way for successful trading long term. At all. Right? You get back to basics. You take your base hits. You follow what's been working for you. And you get some success. There's going to be a lot of psychology talk this week. A lot of psychology talk. Anyway. Yeah, if this area holds, right, you're now delivering. You got an imbalance here. Ideally, that holds as well. Right, so you got multiple confluences for this trading back down. We're now expecting lift. We ideally don't want this to double top, in which case, if you get a closure underneath this, then I think we just create or we take this low as well. Right, but those are the only two arguments that I've got. I think that if we continue basing in here and nothing's been taken, right, you got a high, a high, a high, and whatever gets formed in here. And then you've got the same thing on the bear side. So you got lows, you got this low, and then stacking lows here. You got liquidity on both sides, right? So whichever way we end up closing in about 50 minutes, we expect that from 12 o'clock onwards, right? will end up being, if we look at this, so 12 o'clock, we're expecting either this high or that low to get ran. One of the two, with a very high chance of probability. So make sure you guys are on your guard if you guys do plan on trading in the afternoon. There's not going to be a giveaway today. We're giving away 20 accounts. We're giving away some mentorships. We're giving away some psychology sessions. We're giving away the farm this week on Thursday. Yeah, my internet connection tripled when I moved my office. I have somebody coming here to replace all the hardware that I bought for our boosters and whatever else, but we'll see. All right. You guys have a good morning. If you're green, stay green. We'll catch you guys later. Bye, 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 bye.